got it. Fuck me. Random window just playing music in the back here I couldn't get rid of. That's how that goes.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. So, dude, what's going?
You see that fucking bed, bro?
What's that? Dude,
Did you
bro,
see that bed?
That bed's fucking wild.
Yeah, dude. Fucking
That
been working on that fucker for like the last 4 days, dude.
Dude, that's actually crazy. I can't believe that. Man, like one of my coolest fucking favorite beds growing up was a water bed. And that thing was crazy. Probably the worst thing you could ever fucking sleep on. But like, and the worst too is like if the sheets got fucked up in any way, you were just getting fucking hypothermia.
Dude, my parents had a fucking my parents had a water bed when I was a kid.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah.
How many brothers do you have, bro?
Only one. Thankfully. Yeah, dude, I used to play around. That was so much fun. They probably only had it till I was like 7 or some shit. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Those are fucking best, dude.
Dude,
do they still make those? They probably do make them like so advanced now.
I don't know, but if they do, yeah, they're probably fucking crazy. Like mine, I remember the heating unit on mine was like this sketchy ass like rod that like was just a fucking metal rod. And it always freaked me out because I'm like, what the fuck? But if you didn't heat that bitch, like you were gonna be sick when you woke up. Like that was it. That was the only option.
That's awesome, dude. Do I need to go get a beer right now?
I'm having a fucking drink right now.
How do I?
Nado,
on my screen, you're the whole screen.
Oh, that's gay.
Can I half it?
Yeah. Go up to the top right corner, hit view.
Okay.
And then go to gallery. I probably speaker.
Oh, fuck. There we go. All right.
Yeah, that's way better.
Back. Hold on.
All right. Nado's grabbing a beer. He doesn't know even that I started recording already. We'll tell him when he gets back. He's running. Oh my God, he's running. I don't if you're at home watching the video of this or you're driving in your car, you gotta he just opened a glass door and ran away. How big is this guy's fucking house? I gotta ask because this is like Nado's tuning in from Vegas, so this is some extra special Vegas edition shit where like he's outside recording. He's got like an outside office right now. So this is pretty epic. We're gonna have to get some deets on this when he gets back. Looks like he's mixing a drink. 3 guesses. Las Vegas tornado. Probably tequila involved. He said beer, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be tequila.
No, I was gonna get whiskey, but I can't drink whiskey straight right now. I drank it the other night straight. Normally I do it with ginger ale, and I just this year I need to send you some. We do. I don't know if I told you, but for Snap-on we buy a barrel of Jack Daniels every year.
Oh my God!
And it's like it's limited edition, so it's single barrel, and we pick it out. I'll send you a couple bottles. Well, can I send you shit? How does that work?
I don't know. There might be some sort of excise tax, but maybe we can get around that. Maybe we can just fucking mislabel it. I get jacked up. I'll get the bill probably. If you send something crazy, what ends up happening is Canada border like fucks with it a little, and then they just like add additional taxes to it.
So do they really like look at every package, or how does that?
I don't know, but when I got my ape shit, I had to pay $400 in taxes to get my ape shirt and sweater. I was like, are you fucking kidding? Like, I'm not Drake, bro. Like,
yeah, why? What is that?
It was taxes. I don't know, fucking some sort of tax. I was like, I live in fucking CCP. Like, fuck me. By the way, Nado, we're recording. Like this podcast is wild. So when you left, I had to comment a little bit like fucking I don't even know what happened. Like you're like, I'm gonna go grab a beer, and then you got up and like kind of like ran through the wall behind you and across the fucking room and up some stairs. I'm like, what kind of hacienda fucking Vegas palace is this shit? You got an outdoor office right now? Are you outside?
No,
or like
I am outside. Yeah, no, that's just the inside.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I have to do them outside because I'm too loud. So
Okay,
like
you're screaming.
I'll wake up my kids and my wife will just get pissed. She'll be like,
Yeah.
You're too loud. So I'm just like, fuck it. It's probably 105 out right now. I'm gonna sweat my dick off, but I don't care, dude. We're
105.
riding.
That's hot.
Yeah.
That's got to be hot. Dude, my hot tub's 104. So I know
Oh
that
my God.
105's hot.
Dude, here's a hot take. Here's a hot take just to start it off. Maybe we should do this on the show, but well, I hate using the word should. So we need to do this. Is I don't like hot tubs. And I don't know if that's I think that's a hot take, dude. I think a lot of people like hot tubs.
But here's the problem. Again, we have to keep bringing this shit back to the fact that you're living in a fucking desert, bro. Like nothing is enjoyable in a desert. Like the only thing you like is cold beer and fucking pools. And I get it. Like I'm fine with that. Like that's cool. But like, you have to understand -50 where I snowmobile. Right. So when you get home from that, your back's fucking sore, your knees are sore, your lungs hurt from just trying to breathe. And like that's fucked. Like you need to sit in a hot bath. And like I'm the kind of guy, I can't run a bath. I don't know. I'm not doing it. I refuse to plug up a fucking bathtub, fill that bitch with water, and sit in my own filth. Like I wallow in my own filth and self-pity daily. I don't need to sit in a fucking tub and be reminded about it. But a hot
dude,
tub's cool.
Efficiency, dude. I could take a 2-minute shower and clean everything, dude.
Yeah.
I'm in and out. I'm back at it, you know.
I know.
Like my wife will be like, oh, "Can we take a shower together?" I'm like, "Yes, but like, can you be fast?" I love you so much, but fuck.
I pull out instantly. I'm like, I'm out of here. Fuck that. You can come in the shower for 5 minutes, but right after that, I'm fucking out of here. But
my wife's like, "Who are you texting?" I was like, "I'm texting Adam. I'm doing his podcast." She's like, "Oh yeah, okay." And I was like, "Oh yeah," and his girlfriend's Christina. How do you know his girlfriend's name? I was like, "Because he's my friend."
Yeah, we fucked. I don't know. Yeah, what's up?
We're actually friends. Like, I do have real friends. It was fucking so funny.
She's like, "Wait, those fucking morons you hang out with every day on Twitter?"
Like, yeah. I was like, at least I've met you guys. Like, I've hung out with you guys extensively. So
yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
we did that thing. So, dude, we're here. We're fucking podcasting. It's 11 p.m. here. So I've actually never done a nighttime podcast. So I fired up the backlighting for this one. So
this can get wild. This can get a wild one.
So the video portion is going to be fucking absolutely lit. So but yeah, man, like I don't know if you've ever listened to one of these shows, but we go into absolutely whatever. And I've got a fucking audience size of like 3. So
I love
these episodes are generally just me and whoever I'm trying to talk to. So yeah, man, I'm down to talk about anything, but I do have some like, basic shower thoughts. You've logged in with the name Gentle Tornado, and it struck me that I have you saved in my phone as Nado. I call you Tornado every fucking day, and I don't know if I've ever even asked you your name.
Oh, Dominic.
Dominic. Oh,
Dominic.
Fucking Dominic.
Yeah, it's a solid name.
That's a fucking strong name, dude. Your dad knew what he was doing.
Yeah. He did. I don't remember what my mom wanted to name me, but it was fucked up. So I thank my dad every day for that, dude, because he saved me.
Dude.
Yeah, dude, I do. Dominic. I like it.
Dude, you came out with a fucking Snap-on dealer. Dominic.
Yeah, I was ready to go, dude.
Let's fucking go. All right, dude. What the fuck, man? Tell me your life story. What the hell are we here for?
All right, dude. Well, fuck. Born in Vegas. Fucking grew up in Vegas. I started playing sports at a very young age. I think I started playing soccer at like 4. Naturally gifted athletic ability. I started playing tackle football when I was 5. Just absolutely loved that more than anything. So I stopped playing soccer because soccer and football are at the same time. I played football and baseball for a really long time. And then I started playing, then I wrestled. I started wrestling probably when I was like fucking 8 or 9. So I think like a lot of my childhood, I was molded around those sports and like, wrestling. Like I fucking hated wrestling, but it was literally the best sport I could have ever done. Like the best lessons. Football too. Like my dream was always to be like in the NFL. Excuse me. So Ooh, excuse me. So yeah, so I played football. I loved football. I used to, I used to literally throw the football to myself. Like I would run and throw the football in the air and run and play by myself. Like when we were at my family's house, I'm over 50% Italian. So very, very big family growing up, and grew up with my great grandparents lived in Vegas because they had to get away from the cold. So most of my dad's family, the Italian side, is from Denver, from Colorado. And, but my great grandparents moved out to Vegas when I was very young to get away from the cold. And they had a lot of health problems. So they were very, very big in my childhood growing up. I would go over there all the time. I would hang out with them. My great grandma and I would watch football all the time. She was fucking just classic Italian grandma, just would cuss at the TV. She'd fucking do like the rest, dude. It was so the best. Like, and then my great grandpa was just such a hard worker. They owned like, I think like 20 bars or something in Colorado at one point, and they had like, I want to say a couple hundred season tickets to the Broncos games.
Holy
And they used to
hell.
give them away. Yeah, so it was just wild. Like they were never like crazy wealthy because they used to just like give tickets away. They would, they were just so giving. And then they were such a big impact in my life. Like they were at every single sporting event. My great grandma was in a fucking Jazzy, dude, the electric fucking scooters, like on oxygen. And she was at every single sporting event. So they're a big deal. I have tattoos for them. So that's my grandma. Oops. Lovely. It's a Rose because their last name was Rose. And then my great grandpa called me Tornado. So,
Nice.
so I have that. So that's where I got that name. I was just wild. I was nonstop. I was like 110%. And then I'd fall asleep. I'd crash hard on the couch while they were fucking drinking coffee and playing cards. So I grew up playing tons of sports, man. I had a lot of friends. I was pretty outgoing, kind of friends with everybody. And then I got into, let's say, I don't fucking know, middle school was fucking atrocious. Hated middle school. That was terrible. I don't know how you guys do schooling out there. Like, do you guys just go up
We
till
do.
high school or?
Yeah, we do like junior kindergarten, senior kindergarten, and then 1 through 12.
Oh
And like
shit. Okay.
usually like you're at one school from like, kindergarten to grade 8 and then a different school from grade 9 to 12. Some people fuck with that middle school thing, but it's very rare.
Yeah. So it's absolutely terrible. So we go basically kindergarten to 5th grade, and then 6th, 7th, 8th is middle school, which is just your fucked up years. And then you go 9th through 12th, which is high
Wow, that's
school.
that's hectic.
Yeah. So, just very active kid, played a ton of sports. It was a very, very good. Like I said, I was just naturally gifted. I was the best at football. I played lacrosse in high school, loved lacrosse. One of kind of the turning points in my high school career was I was very good at football, but I was pretty small. Like I'm not a very big dude. I'm like 5'10" on a good day. And, my sophomore year, our football team in my high school was so good that during the playoffs, they would let the starters from the junior varsity team, the sophomores, play varsity for the playoffs. And I remember I went into my coach's office, and, he does meetings with all the people he's bringing up. And I was a two-way starter. So I figured, I would be on no matter what, I would be on varsity, but I was a smaller guy. And he told me that he wasn't going to bring me up. And he picked this other kid that was like 6'4", terrible, never played a down. And he was going to bring him up for show. And so I remember going home, I was devastated. And I was like, dude, fuck this. I told my dad, I was like, fuck this, dude. I don't need football. Like, I'll play lacrosse. Like, I'll go to college for lacrosse. Like, this is fine. And, my dad was like, dude, don't let this motherfucker, like, shape who you are.
Yeah.
So I actually quit lacrosse and went all in on football.
Dope.
My dad hired, like, I went to this private training facility for months, got bigger, got faster, got stronger, was just an absolute animal my junior year. And then my senior year just was crazy. I was all conference. And so I didn't have a ton of offers because I was so short. So like how football works is like, if you're smaller, you got to kind of go to like a junior college or like a Division 3. And so I was like, I don't want to go Division 3. They're super expensive. Most colleges are super expensive. So I was like, I'll go to a junior college for 2 years, earn my scholarship, and then transfer. So, my dream was to play in the NFL. I'm pretty realistic. I'm a big dreamer, but I'm pretty realistic. And so I got to college. That was a massive dream of mine, just like super achievement. And I was playing at a junior college up in Santa Cruz, California, and playing the first year was just a lot of like growing, learning. It was like a whole new level of sport. Like I can't even explain it. Like college athletics compared to fucking high school is just like an eye opening. You're up at 4 a.m. You're working out. You go to school, then you work out, then you fucking go to practice, then you're working out. It's like wild. You live, eat, shit it, and I loved it. And my sophomore year, I was very good. I got very good. I won all conference awards, and I was small. I was an offensive lineman, so I'm only 5'10", but I was pretty big. I was like 270 pounds, and
That's
our team was
legit.
yeah. So our team was pretty like thin. Like we had a lot of injuries, and so I think I played right guard. I don't remember, but it was the second to last game. Absolutely didn't matter. And I was playing in the third. It was either the third or fourth quarter, and I shouldn't have been playing because if we would have had people, I would have been out. But I ended up tearing my ACL, MCL, meniscus, and that was pretty devastating. I had a full ride scholarship to a school in Canada, actually a D1 school in Canada. I was going to go play football at the next year. That it just was like so excited, like dream come true. And they pulled my scholarship on Sunday, the next day.
Fuck.
Yeah. So, be honest, is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
I realized very quick that the world is fucking, they're cutthroat. So, I've kind of always been pretty big like dream chaser. Like I've always had massive dreams, but I've also been super humble. So like I don't need a whole lot in my life to be happy. And so I was like, fuck it, dude. I achieved my, playing college football was a dream of mine. And after I tore my ACL, I went into pretty deep depression for like a month. And then I was like, fuck this, I got to get out. And so I got better. I was lucky enough to have like one of the best physical therapists in the West Coast. Got better 5 months, left Santa Cruz, moved back to Vegas. Um, Immediately I got a job at the Air Force. And then I was like, I don't want to fucking do this. And so I went to a Snap-on conference with my dad. They have a conference every August. And my dad was just starting to expand his business. And I was like, fuck it, dude. My dad told me he needed help. And I was like, dude, I'll work for him. Like, fuck it, dude. I'll help him. He gave me everything growing up. And why not? Why not help him out? Go work for him, do whatever he needs. And pretty wild. That was 8 years ago. But, if I never would have came back to Vegas, I probably would have never reconnected with my wife. So, everything is the best thing ever. And 8 years down, kind of wild because I never liked Snap-on as a kid. Like I never used to go to work with my dad. I didn't enjoy it. Now I'm fucking been slanging tools for 8 years and
That's
fucking
sick,
riding.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
And are you enjoying the Snap-on work right now?
absolutely.
Like, yeah.
No, fuck no, Adam. No, no, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm so transparent. So I can't even lie about it, dude. I hate it every day,
Yeah.
but I love my life. So, following Gary has helped me with that for sure.
It
Like,
sounds like Snap-on's providing you with something though that is going to be useful for your goals.
100%, 100%. Like I'm literally so grateful that I've had this opportunity to learn. I feel like anything I would need in the business world. Like I feel like running the Snap-on franchise for as long as I had and the successful I have, like I could do anything. Like I could go do anything. The lessons I've learned, the consistency, the business practices I've had to go through to be successful, um, have taught me, everything I would need. And so I'm super grateful for that. And we had 5 franchises, and my dad actually just sold 3 of them. So it's kind of like in that period where who knows what's going to happen. Like I'm really looking to transition out of this. And my job was always like, kind of like Gary, dude. Like I came to work for him, built it up, have no stake in the business. Like, and I just want him to be okay. And then I'll leave when the time is right for me to take another, to do something that I want. Because like, yes, I don't enjoy my job, but like, I don't need to just leave it to take a different job. Like I want to do something that I want to do. And so, excuse me, I'm comfortable like being in this job until that happens.
Yeah. What are some of your biggest challenges with that role?
But definitely working with my dad is very hard. Because like it's not like he holds it against me, but like, you know, he's got a lot of cynicism because of running the business. And so like, I'm the complete opposite of that. Like I'm super humble, like calm, empathetic. And like, if we disagree on something, like he can almost hold that against me. Like in the fact of like, you know, then he's not pleasant to be around, you know, with the kids. He literally lives fucking across the street of like
Yeah.
across a main street. And so he lives close, and I just like don't want to deal with that. Like I'm fine dealing
Yeah.
with that, and I'm fine talking to him and have those hard conversations, but like I just that's not something I want to do. It's not something that I need to have like that stress. And like a lot of honestly, like he brings his stresses down on me, which is fine. Like he obviously needs to do that. And so it's just like I want to move on from that. And I think that like the odd situation that's happening in the I don't know if the world or just the US is like I think the quality level on a lot of things isn't as important anymore. And so like Snap-on is the best quality tool in the world. And I think that a majority of people don't care about that. And I think that's a very odd realization that I've had to go
Yeah.
through.
That's
Is like very
fascinating, man.
surprising.
Because like I would think that and there's a few things here I do want to touch on before I go too crazy on this fucking path. But to me, like quality is one of those things that I do find is actually evaporating from the world, which is fucking to me a bit disgusting. And perhaps it is like a broader societal gravity that pulls it that way. Like if you want to have fucking 7 billion people, maybe that's actually the reality of that situation. That would suck though. That would not be as cool to me as as maybe the idea that like it's okay for a Ryobi to exist because that actually gives more people access to tools that are helpful and provide utility and all that shit. But there needs to be a Snap-on, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not a particular like, you know, I'm not a tool fucking gearhead, but like I know like I've used a lot of shit in my life, right? And you know, for me, maybe it's cars are a better analogy. Like I think there is a fucking time and place and a position for the Honda Civic or the Toyota Corolla or whatever. Like, you know, it's going to generally speaking work, but you're not going to have, you know, the luxuries or necessarily, well, Toyota's a terrible fucking example because that Corolla will drive 1,000,000 kilometers, but you know, it's a piece of shit. What am I trying to say here? But you know what I mean? Like a Ryobi or some version
Yeah.
of that. Mastercraft is a big brand in Canada that you know would be typical for somebody to cheap out on. And like, you know, if you're buying that shit, like yeah, that drill's gonna work. And you know what? For a lot of people, it's probably the ideal fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not making a trade out of it. They're not going to use it enough in their life anyways. They're lazy fucks that aren't actually building anything or doing anything with the tools. So that's fair. But
There's like
I would hope that the Snap-on people do fucking care though. Like I want to come to you when I'm trying to drop like real cheddar on a fucking toolbox that I'm going to have for 50 years and
oh
give
yeah,
it
dude.
to like my fucking, you know, 3 generations from now. Everybody knows the
Yeah.
red fucking toolbox. Like everybody
Yeah.
knows the red fucking brand with the chrome tools and you're like, yeah, it's fucking Snap-on.
So if you go to like the Midwest the mid like middle of the country or the East Coast, it's totally different. Like there is generational shops, there is shops passing stuff down. So it's a little bit harder on the West Coast, and like I don't use that as an excuse. It's just reality. But like the thing that's kind of crazy, dude, is like there's no loyalty. And the reason I convinced my dad to sell the business, to sell those 3 franchises, is because I told him like we can't scale this, right? So because of our franchise agreement, we have a list of calls. So we have a list of stops with a list of head count, and I can't just like go to someone's shop. Like if another dealer sucks, I can't just go there. Even if
Yeah,
guy like only wants to deal with me, I cannot, because if I go there and they catch me, they can revoke my franchise. And so like
brutal.
that's amazing because it protects us.
Yeah.
But like I was you know, I had this conversation with Dan. I don't talk about it a lot, but through maybe like 3 years ago, I was number 5 in the world in Snap-on. So, you know, the top 5 are very close as far as numbers go. And there was no like going higher. There was no like
Yeah.
I couldn't work more. I was working 90 hours a week or whatever I was doing. And I was just like, yeah, I can't go get better. Like there's no
Yeah.
like
It's
making
not
more money at
scalable.
this point. I've maxed it out. And so then I was like, well, fuck this. Like I don't need this money. Like I'm not, you know, I wasn't making enough money to justify the hours. So I was like, dude, that was just when I had like my first kid. And I was like, dude, I'm just gonna like start working less. And I honestly like then COVID happened, and I was like, Dad, like, hey, can I take off Mondays? And he's like, yeah, you can take off Mondays as long as your numbers don't go down. And I was like, sick. And dude, my numbers didn't go down. So then
Yeah.
I was like, well, what the fuck am I doing? Like, and so it's been the best thing that I only work Tuesday through Friday, which I'm obviously grateful for. But at the same time, like, I don't necessarily not want to work Mondays, but if there's no point to work Mondays,
Yeah.
like I'm not going to go do it. And so like I want to do something like build a fucking company, or like I just told my dad, I was like, dude, we could go build an Amazon business
Yeah.
and fucking scale it. I was like, what are we doing? Like selling to these guys that don't appreciate us. And of course I have, dude, maybe it's the saddest part is I probably have 1,000 customers and maybe like 10 of them actually give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's just like wild to me. And so it's like there's no loyalty. So that's hard for me because I'm a very loyal person. I'm a very ethical person. Like I would die for my friends. I would be loyal to a company that takes care of me. And so kind of back to my first point, like it doesn't almost matter anymore, my customer service.
Yeah.
Cause like they'll just go like, oh fuck, this other company has it for $20 cheaper. I'll just go buy it. And it's like, dude, I fucking died for you in this business and I've helped you out 10 times. And like I have a memory that's crazy. So I remember this shit. And it's just like that hits me deeper where I'm like, dude, I've literally done so many things for you and you're gonna go buy this set from him, which is fine. Like I want everybody to succeed. There's enough for everyone, but I'm just like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? Well, then why am I doing the above and beyond shit?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think one of the challenges there, like there's a couple things you're touching on, and like it is unfortunate that there's a lack of loyalty throughout the markets. And again, I think it's trained just by like how our society's laid out. Like everything's fast, everything's like high time preference, everything's like, snappy attention deficit, fucking like, everywhere, everybody's just like, yeah, let's fucking get it right now. And like, if they can save $20, let's do that. And so unfortunately, like high quality customer service and products go a little bit under the radar. But I think you're also touching on something else, which is like, it's really hard to want to go over like, over and above to like a high degree for a long, consistent period of time on something that doesn't feel purposeful. Right. And I think that's a
Yeah.
challenge too, where like, if you go all in on selling that fucking set, does it change the world? And like, if it did, you probably wouldn't give a shit if somebody kind of, slighted you, like maybe they mentally didn't even know how much you had helped them. But
Yeah.
it might be hard to imagine that with like a fucking set of tools, right? Like maybe that's just the problem, is that the actual product itself is not purposeful enough to like give you the value, intrinsic value, right?
Yeah,
So
dude, like
that's the
like
challenge.
I 100% agree with you. And I kind of my point I've been thinking about lately is like I've helped a lot of my customers, just because at the same time I say that stuff. This is what's funny is like, you know, it's I love my wife and we talk about this, but she views it as me complaining, and it's just me being real about the situation I'm in. And I tell people like it's not I'm not going to stop being good customer service. I don't know
Yeah.
how to not do good customer service. It's ingrained in me.
Yeah.
But
All high performers will.
but I might not go to your house at 6 p.m. because I'm just like, yeah, fuck
Yeah.
it, dude. I'm gonna go home
Yeah.
to my
Tomorrow,
kids.
bro.
And like, dude, when I gave Audiomatic that nifty portal and like literally convinced him that his winning streak had started, he is on an absolute positivity, just fucking downhill, just journey, dude. And has said probably 5 times in the last week that he is a better dad to his son. And so that right
Fuck.
there is
Holy shit.
literally like 10x more important than me selling tools. Like it's just like fuck. I gave him a fucking nifty portal, like a $300 or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck priced it was, because he's such a good dude for him to just realize in his brain like he can be even more.
Dude, that's fucking exciting. I think that's one of those. Yeah, I think there's a broader life lesson there, right? Like generosity is one of those things that's not necessarily tied to monetary value or even as much effort as you're putting in it. It's about impact, right? And the perspective you can impose on somebody else. And that's fucking exciting, dude. Like, but yeah, and I that must feel like 100 times better than like any deal you've ever closed, right? Like, bro, I'm a better dad now or today or this week or whatever. You're like, holy shit, dude. And I think inspiring people is really cool. One of the next businesses that I've been working on, and I'm meeting a few times a week now with Matt to build this out we're having a really fucking hard time defining this, which is already a challenge. But like that's a weird thing for me too, because I'm a fucking verbose dude. So like it's weird when I can't put into words what I'm thinking. And
Okay.
So what we're building on, and Matt's probably gonna be fucking rattled because he's not said anything about this online or anywhere, but we're building out essentially a media company that's going to be an umbrella of educational, extremely purposeful and intentional content that's going to should help people that are out there thinking about these fucking people that are out there that are like us, man. They're either bored, they're lonely, they're looking for more purpose, they need that fucking gift, they need somebody to start that winning streak for them. Maybe they just need a place to come and listen to people rant about things that they also are thinking but nobody else is saying in their life. And like, man, I couldn't agree more with you. One of the things you said just now was like COVID fucking might have been one of the best things ever, because it made you realize that like maybe the Monday didn't actually move the needle, right? And for us, like, it made us realize some more things, that like maybe what we were doing at all wasn't moving the needle, right? Because like I can go do another duplex, I can go do another triplex, and like, yeah, we'll probably make 50 grand, 60 grand, 70 grand, whatever. I'll buy another watch, I'll fucking do some stupid shit. And like, realistically, like even as like a Rolex guy, how many fucking Rolexes do you need? Like, does it matter? Like, does
Yeah.
one more watch matter to me? And it's like, well, actually, fucking no, not really. It is one of my passions, so like I admire them, but at the end of the day, like I'm pretty sure my fucking tombstone's not going to have my number of Rolexes on it, right? It's going to be like, hopefully, I would like to say I helped inspire a fucking ton of people, or I was that voice that somebody needed when they were down bad, or that voice when they needed when they were up good and were about to fucking stagnate, or when they were up good and just literally thought they were at the ceiling, but really it was just something they could smash through. The ceiling was glass, get through it. And like, I think that is something you want to go over and above for. That's something you want to do. And like, not that this is like a crazy thing, but like, this is an 11:30 p.m. podcast here right now. And like, I'm fucking digging it, bro. Like, we can sit here till 4 a.m. I don't care. I love this shit in the same way that like, maybe it is a bit of a stretch to go to your client's house at fucking 7 p.m. after you've worked a full day at Snap-on to like deliver some tools to go over and above for somebody that doesn't give a fuck. Like, I just hope that like anybody might listen to this eventually and get something, right? Anything out of this. And or better yet, fucking me, right? Just talking to you, right? Like, that would be the ultimate place to start, is I get something or you get something out of the conversation, and then it's there. And that's kind of what Matt and I started DGen Friends for, was so that we could plug in better to the NFT space, but also just fucking have it like literally force ourselves to hang out every day, right? Because it's so easy for us to just fucking disappear into the world of fucking projects and people and businesses and training and accountability and operations and accounting and finance and sales, and holy fuck, by the end of it's the end of the day and you're just like, dude, I just want to fucking, I'm gonna chill and watch some Netflix, maybe jerk off. Like, I'm done, I don't want to do anything. And I don't even have a kid. Like, you got a kid now, you got to go home and show up for, right? So it's like, so anyways,
dude, I gotta read you this. I gotta read you this really quick, dude.
Read it. Let's hear it.
I love it. I love what you're working on, and we are gonna dial in, I think, We need to dial in what you're gonna call it, and we can fucking workshop that shit. But I'm gonna read you this because of what you said about the Rolex, dude. It's literally my favorite poem. It's literally something I fucking live by. I read it on every single episode. It's called The Dash. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from beginning to the end. He noted that first came her date of her birth, and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years, for that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth, and now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash?
Bro. Holy
That's
fuck.
literally what you literally were like, yeah, I like these Rolexes, but does it fucking matter? And it's
Yeah.
like, dude, no, it doesn't, dude, because that's what I think about. I'm like, yeah, I'm very religious, and so like, dude, I just think like I wasn't put here to fucking sell tools, dude. Like I'm
Yeah.
given this natural energy and enthusiasm and happiness. Like I just want to explode that into the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that first of all, that poem's fucking incredible. Cause like, wow, what a profound thing to narrow in on, first of all, as a poet. I mean, like the actual dash, right? Like the concept of that is fucking crazy because it is so powerful. Like that is literally the meaningful part of that entire thing. Um, that's fucking cool. One
Yeah.
thing in there that stood out right away is and here's my red background, is just like one of the things I need to work on in that poem is just like quick to anger. Cause like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm so mentally like busy all the time that like
Yeah.
some small shit just sets me off and I don't know why. And like I'm literally one of those like flash in the pan type things. So like I get like pissed right off, mostly frustrated. And then I'm instantly fine like 3 seconds later, and it's like it never happened. But I'm like, I need that like moment to just fucking have a nuclear explosion. And I think that's probably something to to like, think about, right? Because like the gratitude portion and all of that, I feel like I've got that nailed down. But it's like the other side of that is just like, bro, there's probably a better quality of life waiting for you if you just didn't get fucking super pissed at like the dumbest shit, because it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, right? Most of it
No.
doesn't.
Yeah. And
So
dude, so that's something that I've had to work on. So like I my dad is like that, and instant reaction. And so I'm like that, right? Like just I'm his son, so I'm like that. And
yeah,
so, early on in our working together, he would fucking fire at me, and I'm fire back. Like I ain't take no shit.
yeah,
Like if I fucked up, I'll take it. But if I didn't fuck up, I ain't taking shit. You know what I mean? And so I had to learn to slow down, to relax, to take a breath, and just talk to him in a normal way. And it took a lot of time, dude. It took a lot of time, even with especially with my wife. Like we're so good at communicating now, but we had to work on that. We had to
yeah,
work on like how we react to things that we do, and sometimes I do fucking really stupid shit, and sometimes he does really stupid shit. But it's
yeah,
like there's no good in reacting in anger. And so like Gary, dude, that's like I always think about Gary because I'm just like, fuck, man, how the fuck does he do, like, when he's at a I think about when he's speaking and people ask him the same question. And I'm just
yeah,
like, fuck, man, is no one fucking listening to him? And he doesn't even take that into consideration. He just responds with like empathy and love, and like it's like fuck, dude. And so that's what I think about, is like being more like that, which is so hard. But like
yeah,
the payoff is great, to be honest. Like the payoff is really great. Like, I've had to learn that in Snap on. I've had several customers scream in my face, and we could have gone to a shouting match, but I just at the end of the day realized like they're not yelling at me. Like they're
Yeah.
not yelling. They got some fucked up shit going on in their life. And so like why would I want to react and start an argument that's gonna I could bring home potentially to my family? Like I don't want that shit. So like
Yeah.
I'm there to be there, listen, and then help them through that situation in any way possible. And if they don't like that, that's fine because at the end of the day, I can only do my best. And so I used to react a lot like that, and it took me a while to like learn it, but that took me to the next level in business, like just you know just being able to just stay calm in situations, even
Yeah.
stupid fucking situations that really the way that you feel is like, why the fuck am I dealing with this right now? Why the fuck am I even listening to this? But it's really like, okay, let me calm
Yeah.
down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My thing is like, I'm mostly internal nuke. So like, I'll just be like, I'll just give somebody like the fucking face. And like,
Yeah.
I guess most of my like my outward anger is mostly nonverbal. So I'll just look at you like, bro, you are so fucking stupid right now. And like, I don't know. But yeah, no, I think I've done well at like, turning all of it inward. So I'm just like kind of I just like switch and I'm just like, you fucking stupid motherfuckers. But I'm the ultimate. Yeah. I'm a big fan of that too. Like if it's me fucking up, yeah, you've earned it, take it. If you haven't earned it, at this point I'm pretty calm but yeah, I don't know. It's the other dangerous thing is the like fuck you money. I think that hurts sometimes too. Cause like if somebody's going off, like if somebody in my business is like going crazy at us, I'm just like, this is hilarious how fast I will drop you as a customer. I literally don't care. Like I'd rather burn $30,000 in front of both of us and you have to sit through the misery of watching it go away.
Yeah.
It's
One
like,
of the
fuck
greatest
that.
things I can say, I don't think it's on that scale that you're at, but like being able to fire customers in my business is the
Yeah.
best, dude.
It's
I'm
so
just like,
good.
you guys fucking think I need you. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like I'll just
No.
fucking get 10 other customers that'll pay me the same amount as you, and I'll be fine. Like it's
Yeah.
wild.
On the last episode actually of Mic'd Up Millionaires, we kind of explored with the real estate, somebody I know in the real estate world, like the idea of at the beginning, a lot of entrepreneurs really think that every customer must be theirs, and they try and do all these things and jump through all these hoops to achieve and retain every customer rather than focusing on the best customer for you, right? And a lot of people change their behavior, they change their personality, they change their communication styles, they change all this shit to try and appeal to everybody. And realistically, I think that's the root cause of so much of their fucking stress and unhappiness and like, those days where they do actually bring it home, right? Because like if you're showing back home, like up back at home with like all that shit inside of you, it's probably because you're not living, your actual self at work.
Yeah.
And I think that, I've been there when I worked an office job, like every day you show up in the fucking suit, you wear the shit that you need to wear, you say the things that you're supposed to say, you check all the boxes that were on the fucking checklist. And then you eventually you go home at the end of the day, 5, 6, 7 p.m. You go home and you arrive back at home frustrated with the fact that you're just being controlled, you're being manipulated, you're being fucking told what to do, and it's just not you, right? You're saying things that you otherwise wouldn't have to say in a normal day. And I think that was the straw really on the camel's back for me. It was like, I'm getting fat, miserable, angry, frustrated, and I'm bringing it back with me every day. And I just want to tell these people to fuck themselves. And of course, a lot of work goes into getting to a position where you can. But everybody should strive for that, I think, because you shouldn't have to put up with people's bullshit. You should empathize with people when it is just them, like having a shit day. I respect that, right? Like a lot of people, like if they are frustrated, most of the time it's just like, hey, dude. One of the tricks we often use is just labeling, right? Like it sounds like you're having a pretty rough day. right? And most people in like a heat of an anger situation, if you go, hey dude, I get it, it sounds like you're having a pretty rough day, they will literally bring down 50% worth of their like energy on like being exerted on you instantly. And then the next like 50%, you can bring that down with just like some basic shit, like even some relatable things like, hey man, I was stuck in traffic today, I was fucking furious, like some dude cut me off, it was awful, whatever, right? And then like that's a trick we often use. But yeah, I think it's powerful to be able to just be yourself. And like that's one cool thing that attracted me to you in Minneapolis where we met. I was like, this motherfucker is just sitting here being himself, and I love that version of him, right?
Yeah.
And then like, but that's just always you, right?
Yeah.
And that's the version of myself I present as well, is like I
Yeah.
just want to always be me. And in that way, I can put in 12-hour, 14-hour, 16-hour days without ever having to feel the pressure of fucking acting. Like, why do you think Tom Cruise is jumping on Oprah's fucking couch like a psycho? Well, he's fucking acting all the time. He's trying to be like 10 other people per year.
No, dude, I think like instantly, like it was kind of odd because like, at that V Friends party, like it was awesome, but I was just like not really vibing with many people. You know this, being in business, you can catch on to bullshit so fast. And I just like in my life don't fuck with that. In my real life, like not out of work, like I just don't fuck around with like fake people or full of shit people. And there were so many of that. So I just like I didn't engage with that. And so we were sitting at the table and obviously I'm an outgoing guy. Like I don't have fucking nothing to hide. And we are sitting there and Doughboy and Primo it's their first time like being in an event like this. So, we're all just hanging. And then you came up and I was like, this is my fucking guy. I was like, I knew exactly you were you. And that's why we connected for sure, because I was like, dude, like, why would I fucking want to be anybody else? And it's the funny thing is like we connected on a lot of things. We connected on like a political view. We connected on a bunch of different stuff. But like you would have known right away if we didn't connect, if you said some shit about communism in Canada, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh well, I thought Canada was totally okay, and then you would have been like, oh yeah, fuck you, I'm out, But
Yeah.
it's like I almost refuse to not live who I am,
Yeah.
because like I just don't give a fuck. Like if you don't like me, like I just know what I'm capable. Like it sounds so bad. Like it's kind of like Gary. Like Gary's so confident, and he says that like he said the other day on a podcast, like he's got so much conviction that it comes off a lot of times when people see him for the first time as cockiness.
Yeah.
And I have that same thing, and you have that, where like
Yeah.
we just know who we are and we know what we're capable of, and we know how like to execute. Where it's like, dude, when I think about leaving Snap On and I think about like running a business or doing NFTs full time or running a fucking NFT project, like I literally don't even know what that would be like. My mind is going to explode because I just know that I'm going to go 1000x because I'm going to love it. I already love it and I'm not even doing it full time. I'm making no money. So it's like, dude, I don't even know what I'm capable. I do know what I'm capable of, but like at the same time, I'm just like, fuck, what's going to happen when I actually get into that?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'm fired up to see what happens, right? And I think one of the coolest parts too is as we go through these like live events, as we explore NFTs and all these various communities, is we get to collect people, right? We get to like collect and build on our networks. And I think that's perhaps one of the most entertaining thing for me right now, or like valuable things for me, is that I can meet someone like yourself and like now I get to fucking play along. Like now I get to
Yeah.
watch as as you explore all those things. And I'm excited to just see what the fuck happens. Like what brand will you build? Like how far are you going to take it? What sort of enthusiasm will you bring into that? And what the hell can I learn from that? And also get excited by it. Like you're wearing I noticed you're wearing your hype shirt, right? So like, you
Uh,
know, if you're getting people hyped, like that is actually extremely valuable on a two-way street, right?
yeah.
And I would love to talk about that brand, because like that's a really exciting thing for anybody you run into, right? From the person who's trying to like get 1% better to the person who's trying to 10x or 100x their business, or even to somebody like your dad, right? Who maybe has a different outlook, and you're just trying to get him to change 1 degree so that across 1,000 miles, he's going to end up at a totally different destination. Right. Like,
yeah. Oh, fuck, dude. That's like, you couldn't have said it better. Like, that's exactly right. Why we created Hyped. And, you know, back in the day, this is probably fucking 6 years ago now, dude, me and Doughboy created it. And, you know, we weren't happy. We wanted to do something. We had went to this course called Rapport Leadership International, and it absolutely changed our lives. And I was just like, what the fuck are we gonna do, man? Like, we have to do something. We have to create a company that we can just fucking go all in on. And we came up with Hyped, and the acronym, you know, Hyped is HIPED. It stands for happiness, inspiration, positivity, enthusiasm, and dreams. Felt like the perfect fucking words in one. And then the logo is an H with a heartbeat in the middle, because we just don't know how many heartbeats we have. So it's like just all around perfect. And kind of went all in on it. You know, we started doing content. Yeah, we were doing so much shit content. We were selling shirts, and it was just too much. It was just too much. Like, my wife wasn't ready. She was like, she wasn't ready for me to start doing this at the same time of our relationship. You know, we were very. This was probably the first year we were married. I don't even know if she might have been pregnant. And to be honest, like, we got to a point where I was doing 90% of the work and Doughboy was doing 10. And I was just like, man, I started resenting him. And I was just like, I don't want this. Like, we're too good of friends. You know, he's my brother. I basically consider him my brother. And so I was like, I just can't do this, man. Like, we had so much good traction. And the funny thing that I tell people is, like, every single person I've ever told about Hyped likes it. I've never had someone not like it. And so I just know that it's good. I'm like, dude, this is good. Like, it's gonna be good. However, whatever I do. And so it's like, I've been through enough sales to know that it's not full of shit. And so now I'm doing it solo because I can rely on myself. And Doughboy's now doing Snap on himself. He bought the franchise, which is, I'm so excited for him. And it's like, I just feel so good about it, man. Like, even whatever comes out of it, like, you know, I talk to Dan a lot. You know, I talk to Dan at least every other day, probably. Um, and you know, the relationship that I have with you and Matt, but it's like, dude, I just want to see all of this grow. And I'm just like so excited. I was talking to Dan on Monday or something about it. I was just like, dude, just there's so many missed opportunities that are just right in people's faces and they don't even see it. And I'm just like so excited to see, like what you said, like what's going to happen. You know, what can we do and execute on?
yeah. And I think it's, I think one of the reasons why it's such an easy sell is like, everybody fucking needs that. Like, everybody needs that shit and nobody talks about it. Like, when, yeah, this is like one of the challenges. Like, I just and covered this on the last episode as well, but like, it's worth repeating, is like, I actually just brought my grandparents to one of those like crazy escape rooms, like one of those
Oh,
modern fucking wild escape rooms. And like, they're so advanced now and just trippy, and like, they're hardcore. And like, it has me thinking now too, like the D and Hyped dreams, like dreaming. Like, when is the last time like my grandparents or like anybody's parents were really dreaming, like outside of like, oh, we want to go on vacation this year or whatever? Like, no, man. Like, I just wonder, at what point do people stop consciously focusing on the things that actually matter? Like, I
yeah.
think it's really unfortunate that we're getting pulled into this like super hyper, again, going back to like the quality not mattering, or there not being any loyalty. It's just like, we're so drawn towards this fast pace, like, you know, consume everything all at once as fast as possible, highest time preference. And it doesn't help anything, because like, it actually prevents you from dreaming. It actually prevents you from being enthusiastic. It actually prevents you from like taking the time to live life fully, which might be as simple as like just straight up walking in the sun with your fucking feet on the grass. And like, I don't know, like, I feel like a lot of people just don't appreciate like life as it is. Like, life is fucking crazy and beautiful. And like, I think the cool thing about the Hype brand is like, if that's going to be under a spotlight for people, they will focus on it, because like, we understand that, like, we're one of these really unique creatures that can understand like beauty and the value of that. And I think it's fascinating that we often choose not to focus on that. Like
Yeah,
we,
I agree, dude. I think like it's a lot to do with perspective and like, you know, I did a podcast with NFT God. Obviously, you know him. He's coming on tomorrow, but like he had said like he doesn't really dream. You know, he has big goals, but he's so focused on his process. And so that was cool for me because I was like, dude, I got crazy dreams. Like I got like,
yeah,
you know, retire at 35. I've been saying that since I was 18. And like just fucking crazy dreams, bro. And it's like, but I don't necessarily care about that. I love the process, just like what he was saying. And so I think there's multiple ways to focus on that. And you know, something me and my wife have been focused on is like living for right now, like living
yeah,
right now and you know, getting home and putting my phone down, not doing shit on that. Like if I'm at home I'm with the kids, I'm with them, right? And so like it's like we've fallen into this, like what you're saying, like people think that like no time is an excuse. It's just like just not an excuse, dude. It was kind of like you know, that conversation we had on the
yeah,
phone, I was like, dude, people acting like they're above other people. I was like, dude, I got 3 fucking kids. I'm running a business for my father, and I still have enough time to tweet 10 times a day. I still have enough time to be a good father. I still have enough time to be a good husband, to build a bed for my son. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like to come on this podcast, to do another podcast that I'm doing. It's like, it's just not a excuse. And that comes back to accountability, like a lack of accountability. And even a lack of accountability for wanting to dream, like to want, like to being stagnant in your fucking life. And it's like, not like, it's like plain and simple. We have one opportunity. That's it. Like, you know, I'm 28 and I'm just like, fuck, man, I just want to do so much more. And like, that's why like you and Matt, like when I met you guys, I was just like so motivated. I'm like, fuck, man, I just want, like, I love these guys. Like I'm wanting to level up my life even more and just do more, man. Like you see what Gary's doing. Like he's fucking signing people's shoes, dude, at
yeah,
VeeCon. I'm just like, dude, this guy's like, I want to do this shit. Like he's no, and he says that, dude, he's not special. And that's what I say too all the time. Like I'm not some special person. And like I don't know anything about cars. So it's funny that I was top 5 in Snap on because I don't
yeah,
fucking know anything about cars.
yeah,
But I know how to do my business and I know how to be consistent and customer service and sell. And so it's like anybody can do anything, but and so the fucking, yeah, the time thing is no excuses, man. I'm so aggravated at that, the lack of accountability. And then what you're saying, dude, the lack of people wanting to dream, to get better in their life, like whether that be buy a car next year. Like I don't know if that's a fucking dream, like that's cool, you know, and if that can be a dream and you can execute that. But like, yeah, man, like people being like um I don't even know how I would say, like stagnant or lazy in their life. Like it's just, there's so much worse situations you can be in. Like yeah, like Canada's fucked, man. It sounds fucked, but like it could
bro.
literally still, it could still be worse. You know, like I hate to say that. I'm so empathetic towards you guys, but like it could be fucking Africa. Like it could be like no clean water,
Yeah,
huts. You know what I mean? So it's like fuck. It
that's
could
just
always be
you're
worse.
just describing a Canadian native reserve. Swear to
Listen,
God.
dude, highlight of my fucking last couple weeks was when I on the DGen friends was like, Matt, I just need to know right now. I'm not gonna get vaxxed, but can I stay at the Citadel? And he was like, absolutely.
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
like, I literally told my wife that night.
Yeah, dude, so funny. Fuck, man. Yeah, I don't know. Shit can definitely get worse, but that's why I think like, hope or this hope and dreaming are very important to do. And like, I just think it sets in motion like hope, or another word for dreaming might even just be strategy. And that sets into motion the ability to determine tactics, right? If you have a strategy, you can determine the tactics to get to achieve that strategy. And so dreaming leads to goals, and goals lead to things that you can measure, right? And things that you can begin making progress on. And that's where I actually think like that this fucking guy, Alex Hermosi, seems to be blowing up on Instagram and YouTube and shit right now. And he's like the I don't know, like the most popular business guru right now. And he made a whole like mini clip thing that was it went super like all of his shit goes super viral, but this one also did, and it pissed me off because his point was like, making your bed doesn't make you money. Like it doesn't actually grow your business. But I'm like, man, like that's not the fucking point of that statement. The statement is you need to get fucking 1% better in order to get 100% better eventually. Like, and it's very difficult to do that if the shit in your life isn't in order, right? Whether that's making your bed, cleaning your room, cleaning your house, cleaning your car, making sure your workspace is tidied up, and like none of that shit is going to make you money. That's true. But if all of that stuff's done, it frees up all this mental bandwidth for you. And that's when you can actually get to work on the tactics. Like if you're trying to work out, it's like you don't fucking go to the gym and get a six pack the next day. You have to go there consistently and work at it and build on it over years. Like it just, that's how that works. And consistency and the ability to like have a long-term plan is really key. And I think that's what dreaming is. I think dreaming is like, we're going to say something absurd. That's fine. Hey, I want, a lot of like, the traditional guy thing. I want a boat and a car and a plane. And okay, cool. That's fine. If you wanted to have all of that, what would it cost? Well, sure. Go look up fucking G6 jets. And you're like, fuck, they're only like $5 million. Like that's not even that bad. And then you're like, okay, you want a Lamborghini? Only really $1 million will get you a great Lamborghini. Okay, fuck. Awesome. We're off to the races. You want a really beautiful house? Well, where do you want it? Okay, well, I'll look up a few places that you think would be really cool to have that. Oh, shit. Actually, beautiful houses are only 2 million. So now for a smooth, cool, calm $10 million, you can literally have your dream. Well, what does that actually look like? Right. And like once you start thinking about $10 million, you're like, oh shit. You're like, what? Hey, hold on. Divided by 12. Okay, so we only need to make like 833,000 for a little while. And it's like, well, how do you do that? I don't know. Like how much could I make if I flipped the house? Well, let's go talk to some people that are flipping houses. Well, maybe you make 100 grand. Okay, we'll do that 8 fucking times, right? And then do it 8 more times and keep doing it. Or maybe do better projects or more with more efficiency. And like all of a sudden, some crazy dream turns into a definable goal that you can measure and start making progress on. And maybe you don't get the G6. Maybe you have to settle for a G5 because your bitch ass didn't follow the plan, but you still get it, right? Like if you start today. And I think that's where the you have to dream first. I don't,
Yeah.
because like if you don't dream first or you don't have a goal first, like you will stop before you get
Yeah.
to the level of activity required to hit the thing that you want. Like,
Yeah.
and that goes for everything. Like even for the people that want a simple life, like life's not simple, bitch. Sorry. You've got dental, you've got healthcare issues, you've got fucking accidents, you've got political turmoil. You thought you were cool, you were going to retire. That's all good. Except, hey, guess what? You donated to the trucker freedom convoy. Now fucking TD Bank froze your bank accounts because you're contributing to a terrorist organization of peaceful protesters. And and
So
I know
bad.
that sounds Orwellian, but it happened this year in 2022 in fucking Canada. So it's like, you might have a plan, but no plan survives contact with the enemy. Like you will need more resources than you think. So have a
Yeah.
fucking plan. Start dreaming.
No, I I fucking love it, dude. One of the best episodes of DGen Friends was when you guys went over like the list of shit you guys have ready for if like the apocalypse happens. I love this, dude. I love this. Be prepared. You don't want to regret not being prepared. And then like last year, I think it was when that food shit happened in the US where like we couldn't get any food. They were out of shit, dude. We started stocking up. We get food storage. We just bought a cow that's coming. I gotta pick it up on Saturday. Like
Sick.
we're just getting ready, dude. I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, but like I'm not gonna be here not ready. Like there's just
Yeah.
not enough. There's no chance I'm not gonna be ready for this shit.
Yeah.
You
I hope
know?
you guys have a generator for the house because
I don't have one yet, but I need to.
you
So
actually
do
need
you
to
have a
get
good
on that.
generator? Do you have a good one?
Not at this house, but at the property I'm going to be buying for after, because this house we're done in November, because we're going to come see you. But
That's right.
I need to buy another house that I'll view as kind of like my castle slash home base, where I will have full generator backup and food storage and all that shit. But because I actually think like without going too off the rails here, I think power is one of the more interesting things that can fail very easily. The US power grid's a piece of shit. It's so exploitable. It's the most easy to like, if you were going to say like, how do you really royally fuck the US, you would attack their power grid. And it would be so simple. Like that thing's being held together with toothpicks and fucking duct tape. So like, that's one of the things, especially in Vegas, like where it's a very temperate climate. Like if everybody turns on an AC at once, the whole country goes fucking dark for like a week. So like, and then like, you're not keeping food really that long if it's 105 degrees out there every day, right? In the show. So like, fuck that. Yeah, you got to have a generator for sure. Generac is a great
are you guys
company.
actually going to come down here? Are you guys actually going to the US?
We're planning on fuck you RCMP if you're listening to this, but we're gonna leave roughly November 1st. Well, I'm gonna leave here November 1st, and it takes like 3 days to drive to Matt's, and then we'll kind of drop down into the States in November sometime. Hopefully
you're that far from Matt. It's 3 days.
Yeah, and it's the same province, bro. Like it's the same state.
It's wild. Yeah.
It's a full 24 hours of just driving.
That's wild.
And you don't leave this like state.
I'm honestly surprised. I'm surprised you guys don't live closer. Because you used to live only 6 hours away, right?
We used to live together. We've lived together in 2 different houses. So, we used to live together, and he bought his fucking like his just bug out property, and I'm like, cool. And I also bought mine, which is like 3 hours north of like where my family lives, but 6 hours north of here. So like I've got like a fucking cabin in the woods, 100 acres surrounded by 3,500 acres of just like public land. So it is a fucking monster property. So that thing's getting lit up with generator and all that shit. So
that's what you were building, right?
Yeah,
that's what you're working on.
Just built the walls for that this weekend. So it's got a floor, foundation, walls, need a roof, need windows, doors, and anti-aircraft.
You're building the whole thing.
Yeah, bro.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah, you got to send it if you want.
That's so sick.
You got to get after it, right? Like nobody's gonna fucking do it for us, man. Nobody's gonna come help us.
I fucking love it, dude. So what does your family think about Canada? Like first of all, how much family do you have in Canada?
Not much.
And second of all, okay, who do you have in Canada?
Like realistically, we have a pretty small family. Like my grandpa comes from New Brunswick, which is like the French kind of fucking maritime type thing off to the side. And he moved to Ontario when he was like 16 or something, and started his family there. So it's really just my grandparents and my mom and my sister and stepdad, and that's fucking it. And then Christina's just got her mom and sister. All her family's in Ukraine, and so like really small family here. And my mom's sister lives in Italy, so she's only here like once or twice a year. So it's a pretty small family, and we just fucking I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to like sell their house and get something smaller because they've got a pretty big property and it's just a lot to maintain. So they're trying to get rid of that. But I don't know what they really think. I don't think they were ever in a position to really think, right? Because it was just like work to live to survive type thing. So I don't think they really care. And I mean, they've got like health issues. They're getting older as well. Like my grandparents are in their 70s. So they're starting to think about like just kind of calming the fuck down. So they've got their, vaccines and stuff so they can travel. So they don't give a fuck. But I'm like, sorry guys, I'm not playing ball. I refuse to participate in this fucking show and pony act. Like you guys can, I understand that decision, but it's not something that you can force me to do. Right. And I will fucking go down with that ship.
So how long have you been with Christina?
Like 2 years.
Okay. That's cool. And she's the same. So since COVID.
Yeah. COVID. Yeah. It was a COVID thing.
It was a COVID relationship.
I know. Can you imagine?
Tell me about that. Tell me about how that happened.
Who the fuck does that? So, well, I was teaching a real estate investing seminar kind of coaching thing. And she was one of the mentees in there. And like, she was hot for teacher, of course, because I was wearing a fucking power blue suit. I was doing fucking push-ups. Bro, at the time I was 175 pounds with an 8-pack. Like, dude, I was shredded. Like, yeah, everybody was like, holy fuck, this guy is out for blood. And I was a carnal little sinning fuck. And yeah, and anyways, we met. She absolutely fucking turned me down hard that night. I was like, hey, we should go fucking grab dinner or something, maybe come back to my hotel. She's like, absolutely not, I don't fucking do that. And I was like, that's hilarious, I'll fucking follow up with you tomorrow. And enough enough follow up, and I generally speaking always get what I want. So I chased her down, man, hunted her, just hunted it. And then eventually we went out for dinner a few times, and we fucking had an absolute blast. And this was before the fucking Communist Party locked into full effect. So we went out to like all these different spots. I have this thing, man. I love food, and I literally do everything in my life so that I can just eat more food and better food, and like have great cocktails and stuff. And that's literally what I live for. So our first fucking series of going out was in Toronto, and I'm basically, so like my babysitter growing up was on a farm. So like I grew up like in a fucking rural like farm type setting where like, you were just completely unsupervised. Like my babysitter would be like, go play hide and seek in the hay bales, you fucks, like get out of my hair. And that's what we would do, right? Like we would go and fuck around on their like 400-acre farm. And do you measure shit in acres there, by the way? Am I even speaking a language?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, for real quick before you keep going, when Goody said on the show, I think I was working, I couldn't interject. He said something like, "You guys need to have an argument about fucking the metric system and the fractional system." I was like, I just wanted to say that, bro, there's a reason that every other country uses a different fucking measuring system than the US, because the US is fucking wrong, my guy.
Yeah.
And what we do, it makes absolutely no fucking sense.
Well, I
just had to put that on wax. But yes, we do measure stuff in acres. So that's fine. I do understand that.
But it's just so annoying because like I'll say something like inches, and I don't know if that's American or not, because like I can do inches or centimeters. Like I understand both pretty easily. So, but like if you don't have both, why the fuck would you understand either of them? So like anyways, so I grew up on like a farm, right? Like it was just like playing in the dirt, eating shit I shouldn't have been eating, fucking around. Like it was just wild and completely unsupervised. So like Toronto is this like mega city to me. Like to me, Toronto's like New York City. It's like the fucking biggest, craziest thing in the world. So and we never really went there. Like we went there like once a year, maybe as a family, to like whatever, see my uncle that lives there, and like maybe I don't even know what we would do there. Like when I was a kid, we used to go to like Wonderland, which is kind of like a bitch ass version of Disney, but like way shittier, like the shitty Canadian cheap version with no Mickey Mouse. Like
these are the bitch ass. I cannot wait to quote that. I'm literally quoting that tomorrow on the show. These are the bitch ass version.
It is, but it's so bad. But whatever, it's the best we can do. But anyway, so when I started going to see Christina, she lives in Toronto her whole life, and so she had this like whole lay of the land. Like she knew all these fucking spots, like literally every restaurant in Toronto. And like Toronto's got a pretty crazy food and beverage scene. So we went out, and like every night we were hitting like 3 or 4 different spots, like grab a nap here, then do a main over there, then maybe like cocktails at somewhere else, and then dessert somewhere else, and like all this fun shit. And it was epic. And then boom, lockdown. And we were like, holy fuck. And I was like, lockdown? What the fucking China hell is going on here? And I was like, whatever, this can only last for like a day. And it did not. It actually lasted, 2.5 fucking years, basically. And so we were the last country, by the way, to not have lockdowns, only beside North Korea and China. Those were the last 3 countries. North Korea, China, and Canada were the last 3 countries to lift their lockdowns, and New Zealand, which is basically a province of China. So it's It's fucking literally disgusting. I couldn't believe it. I was so rattled, but it totally changed things. I mean, what do you do? Well, now you're at home, right? Or like, and so I used to take my motorcycle down to Toronto, and I'd just like visit. We'd walk around the city, but it's a fucking ghost town. Toronto is also plagued by like this fucking huge, like liberal fucking red army, because like it's just big cities, that's how they work, right?
Yeah,
Like if
yeah.
you're stupid enough to live in one, you just probably are going to be liberal, because there's nothing better for you. Like everything is miserable. You should be having the state pay for everything. Like it makes sense at that point. Like what's the better thing you're gonna do? Go serve or something? Like fuck that, stay at home, collect checks, stop the
What is
spread.
the super off topic? What is like what's like the Canadian Army like? Like what is that like? Like what's your guys' military?
Allegedly super advanced, um technologically anyways. Like we generally speaking have tech that like would be as good, or like at least as good as the US Army, because like we have such a smaller population that like you guys spend all your money on developing these things and then do major defense contracts back and forth with us. And like it turns out we actually make like half the armored vehicles you guys use. So like General Dynamics is a huge company that will make all the light armor vehicles you guys bring to all the countries you like to bomb and drop. Like if you're going to actually have troops there, if you're not just bombing countries, you'll roll in probably with General Dynamics light armor vehicles that are actually made just up the road from me. Um, so that's a big company. And yeah, I mean, our army's really advanced. We're actually known for marksmen. So like we have the longest lethal kills in the world that are recorded. And like that's just like it's just been a thing for a while. So I don't know, because we've got fucking land and nothing better to do with it than get good at shooting. So that's it. But yeah, anyways, it was a whole thing. So like we just had to stay at home after all that, and then so we had to like start doing really fun stuff together, like hiking and biking and all that stuff. So yeah, COVID relationships a little bit strange, because there was nothing to do for a very long time, plus all the social pressure, right, of like, well, why don't you just do it, or like all these other fucking arguments that were coming in from all angles. And just like the stress and anxiety of like most people's businesses got crushed here because of the lockdowns were so lengthy. So like the government handed out all this like incredibly cheap or free money, and everybody of course took advantage of it, but they didn't read the fucking fine print. Like all this money has to be paid back. It wasn't grants, it was loans. And so now the average Canadian is absolutely underwater with debt, and their business probably suffered, or they bankrupted a business and then rebranded and have opened now that the lockdowns are done. But that's not gonna work. So yeah, I mean it's a really weird state. So like after all of that, somehow, and was our logic, like if you could fucking manage that, like maybe this is actually a really cool thing to do like long term. So
Yeah,
whatever, now we're just two people figuring shit out. But
that's
and
cool.
like she of course she got fired from her job because she was like, no, I'm not gonna get vaccinated. Um so that was crazy. And so I was like, well, I know this guy who does real estate and could just hire you. And you're gonna have to learn some new fucking skills, but it'll be tough, but it'll be very much worthwhile if you can master these skills. So yeah, now Chris works for my company, and we have her taking all of our inbound calls and then use that as a transition to work her into getting into like one of my like essentially sales positions. So
Yeah.
now she's working on getting her first deal done. So
What do
that'll
you?
be life changing.
How many employees do you have?
Right now, 9.
Wow.
Yeah, just a baby company now. I reformatted my whole company in kind of at the end of the last year. I actually let go of my entire sales team and basically put the company into like a dormant state so I could reconfigure all the back end. And it turned out it was actually like, if you're sitting at home right now listening to this in your car or driving or whatever, like probably don't fire your entire fucking revenue arm at once. Like maybe slowly phase it out as you're making these improvements. But yeah, I was kind of fed up. It was like a bit of like a morale cancer had gone through the company, as well as like just a lot of ego. So I was like, the same thing that led me to the decision of not wanting to ever work for somebody else is the same thing. Like it had me working for somebody else in terms of like, you know, not having the people in my company that I wanted in my company, and them growing voices that, you know, were sort of making me slave to my own fucking thing. And I was like, absolutely not. Like I fucking refuse. I'd rather go to zero. And so in the same way of like firing a customer, I just thought, you know what, fuck this. I'll just rather burn it all. And like we went from $2.7 million to $0 instantly. And I was like, good, fuck it. And now I'm paying for that. Quite aggressively, actually. Like I've burned, I literally burned like 600 grand or something in salaries in the last 6 months that I'm just paying out of pocket with no fucking revenue, really. And the people I have now are fantastic, and I will fucking keep riding with them. And so I've been signing the checks just out of my own, you know, retained earnings, and just keeping them on, because I know that when we get the sales team back to where it should be, it's going to be a business that is 10 times more scalable, because we spent the time building it the way it should be built, rather than how we, because what ended up happening is over the course of a couple of years, we sort of implemented solutions that were okay at the moment, but not like the thing you would actually do if you meant to grow a huge business. Like it was just like band-aid solutions, and enough band-aid solutions stacked on to enough band-aid solutions compounded. It starts to look like, you know, the US housing market or something, like where just everything's subprime mortgages and fucking ready to fucking collapse at any second. So that's where I was like, you know what, fuck this. Like between getting pissed off with some of the egos and things that were happening, and realizing that those back end issues were there, I was like, let's just build this the way it should be. Like totally scrap it, go to zero. And I do my best when I'm at zero, man. And that's kind of where I come from. So I get comfortable in that position. Like I get really comfortable when the pressure is on and I'm getting fucking slammed, because like that's where I find my competition will panic, right? Like they panic when they don't have air. And I'm just like, just choke me. I don't give a fuck. Like, let's go. Right?
Oh yeah.
Oh
But I'm like, well, like I don't mind that. Like I realize that there's, you know, you can stay underwater a lot longer than you think. You've got capacity. Most of the struggle is mental, and if you can get through that, you'll see yourself onto a side where your competitors just can't fuck with you. Like,
yeah, I literally love that, dude. I love that you basically went to zero and you had the humility and you had the patience to build it back the right way. And so it's like that's so important. And you know, one of my like I don't have a lot of long-term holds in the NFT space, but if a business owner, let's say came from Web 2 and has been a successful business owner, and I know that their back has been against the wall, like you're saying, dude, and they've been to the depths of hell, is what I like to say.
yeah,
And they've seen the fucking devil in their eyes, dude, and they've risen. I'm like, dude, I'll buy the NFT. Like, dude, I already know like this motherfucker's gonna do it because he's seen shit that I've seen. And if you've made it out of there, dude, like you're capable. And so I love that you're doing that. I think that's gonna pay off big time.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, we're still in the heat, bro. Like it's not we're not through the pain cave just quite yet. We're actually kind of getting close to the bottom of the fucking cave, and then you've got to somehow get through it. But for me, like I think it's just what's necessary, and it challenges you as a business owner as well to just develop your skills better, right? Like, okay, well, how do you hire better people faster, get them onboarded, keep them accountable, keep them motivated, get them performing as soon as possible? And like you have to, because if you don't, like that's fucking it. Like I burn so much money now that it's like, okay, it's time for that component to come back and in full force. And I love the challenge because it also highlights your weaknesses for you. Like if you're getting absolutely hammered against the wall, like that you're not good at blocking, right? Like you got to
Yeah,
figure it
yeah,
out. You got to fucking weave, man. So I've learned a lot about myself in the last 6 months, right? Like 12 months, even wow, the last 3 years of just going like hard at business. And like it's been so educational, but it's also just been the best opportunity I've ever had because like I'm happy to say that I've been like bold enough to take these types of risks when it was only me that was gonna fucking carry the weight if it failed.
yeah,
Like just put it on me. I got it. Let's fucking go.
yeah.
And so that for me is like the important part about what I took away from my upbringing, right? Like if there's hard work, you just fucking do it. And like, yeah, it sucks, whatever, bitch about it later. But like just do it. And there's probably a hot meal waiting, right? Like get
100%. Yeah.
get through it. Okay, I'm gonna be
No,
right
like,
back because I'm gonna grab one drink. Hold on to this.
okay, okay, all right. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. I was doing the Jeopardy theme song. So let me ask you this: so you are you tr- so you're wanting to build this with Matt, this media company. We're gonna figure out what the terminology is. I think we can
Yeah,
really fucking hone in on that. But you're building this the real estate thing, right? Your business right now. Are you wanting to get to a point where that is like just fully running itself? You can just take,
yeah.
your profits, and
So
then you can do the media thing with Matt, because like Matt's kind of just like, he's made it. Matt is kind of like, what I understand from talking to Matt is like he's basically retired and
yep,
now he's just wanting to do more, right? Like he's kind of like what you're saying, the media thing. So like, are you wanting to get to a point where this runs on its own, right? The real estate, whatever
yep,
you're doing, your business, and then you can go in on the media or whatever we're gonna name that to build that.
yeah. So I should be at that point November 1st. Um,
Wow. Fuck yeah.
that's the stretch goal right now. But yeah, I mean that's the plan, right? And that marks also our departure date to go to Matt's, and it marks kind of a new chapter. And so like I've got my power team here. I've got an exceptional partner to operate the real estate stuff. I've got, a full-time CPA that's on my team. I've got my assistant. I've got, a few great salespeople now. And that's all it really takes. Like we only need 4 or 5 like great salespeople in my industry to tackle the numbers that I need. And like I roughly, I only roughly need like 1.2 million um in revenue to like depending on which marketing strategies we're doing, but it kind of roughly shakes out that if we do 1.2 million, I literally cover all the bases where like all of my like kind of inner team gets paid exactly what they want. Like I've got a thing with my companies that like you tell me what you get paid. Like I've never decided somebody's salary ever. Like they tell me what they're getting paid, and then we'll work together to create a list of responsibilities to uh, that go with that type of compensation. So, like when my operator, I was like, hey, like I kind of need to do these other things. Like I was just like, just fucking write a number, like write whatever number you want. Go think about it. Write a number down. Make sure it's incredible so that you're not ever thinking about money, and you're only thinking about like how can we better operate this business. And that's the number you'll get. Like whatever number appears is what exactly will start you at tomorrow. So that's kind of my system there. And I think that's going to shake out really well. And then it probably will, I'll continue putting in what I do now, which is, right now I roughly spend like 2 hours on Friday, um, 5 hours on Monday, and then 15 minutes on Wednesday. So whatever that looks like 7 hours, right? 8 hours
Yeah. Yeah.
is kind of my like hard business hours that I have blocked on my calendar for every week. And then randomly some shit will show up. Like today I had to drive to fucking Burlington to sign 3 inches of fucking paper to get a loan approved for one of the properties. And like I was like, whatever. If I have to drive 2 hours one time, like fuck it, I'll do it. So like that adds. So like all of a sudden that's a 10-hour commitment this week to that business. So yeah, I mean it's prepped, it's ready, it's at the stage where all the systems and processes, and that was the purpose of the last 6 months, was to make sure that like literally everything in the business is processed now. Like there's nothing in my business where you actually need to talk to anybody else to get an answer. It should be there. Right. And like there are some fluid cases because real estate is a people thing and people have fucking challenges and problems and whatever. And it's also involves, in Canada, each party has to have a lawyer in order to transact in real estate. And my side as well. So like when I do a deal with our assignments, there's actually 3 lawyers involved. So like that, there's a lot of room for fuckery inside that. So we've got the proper team to deal with that now. And having said that, like I don't get involved in much. Like when I'm getting involved, it's primarily to make sure that there's accountability on the various projects we have going on. So like right now we've got one Airbnb on the go that is launching Monday. And then we've got a new building closing September that we need to have measurements and product ordered for, and like people, contractors lined up for. And then we've got our deals that are closing. There's another deal closing. Well, it's now today because we're past midnight. So on Thursday. So it'll be closing today. And like there's some random issue with that too. So like we've got shit closing all over the place. My role is really to just make sure, like, first of all, everybody has every type of resource they need. Like if you need anything like educational, professional development, money, or like if there's some version of our process, this is another form of, is like if there's something in our process that you would prefer not to do, just tell me so that we can build it better. Right. Like, and so that's really my role, is like a support role. I don't really, truth be told, I don't do much of anything. I really just support the people that I've empowered to fucking own their roles, right? Like just be the best at your job. Cause like, I'm not that good. I'm actually not good at all the things that I hired them for. Right. Like I'm just not. Like, I'm not a great salesperson. I'm not a great accountant. I'm not a great highly detail oriented person that's going to, all the paperwork that we do with my assistant, like there's a reason she's great at that. And so I just fucking empower her to do it all. Like, like, hey, did you read this? Yeah. Okay, perfect. And I can sign it. Like,
fuck, that's great, man. What do you think? Like, what is your biggest dream? You think, like, what do you really want to do? Like, what are you passionate about? I mean, definitely you're showing passion for that. Like you're very supportive, and you're very good, like almost a role model. It seems like like one day I can't wait to send you and Matt and Dan to my rapport leadership. It's pretty pricey, but I'm gonna send you guys, and like you guys are perfect because you guys are so supportive, and that's a big role in leadership. And so that's amazing. So you obviously have passion for that, but like, what are your big time? Like, what do you really want? Like, what is your, like, right? What do you want in your dash? Like, I think you want this business to be successful, but like with this media thing, like this could be wild.
Yeah. And I think that's where I've actually always had one of the biggest challenges. And I specifically had a guy on a few episodes ago that I know is like, he's not only like very spiritual, but he's also like a business titan, like a real estate kind of titan in our area. And like we literally had like a 3-hour discussion just trying to get through the fact that I could not come up with 5-year goals. Like I can't. And that's fucked up, right? And I think maybe I have a little bit better of a perspective now, but at the same time, like I find it really fucking hard to do that. And this is why I say, like, when did we stop consciously dreaming? And when does that stop happening? Because it's so easy to get distracted by life. And that's a statement, of course, just really about myself, right? It's because, like, I actually don't know. The idea of this media company is, I think, both Matt and myself trying to come to terms with the idea that we don't know, and that there's probably a lot of other people that don't know. And so this actual media company, the spirit behind it is actually more so like us just exploring that idea, I think. And
Yeah.
so for me, like dreaming is a lot, it has a lot to do with like, you know, the basics like time freedom, right? The ability to be any place in the world at any time, the ability to eat and drink anything at any time with the and the ability to be surrounded by great people and to provide an impact to those people, right? To be able to help them change their lives and achieve those things. And I think for me, like I don't know if that's the final answer, but like that to me is where I want to start. Like I want to be able to have a lifestyle of adventure and fun and enthusiasm, but also involve great people around me in doing so and helping to inspire people to break the fuck out of their thing. One of the things my Instagram has said for like maybe 7 or 8 years now, or whenever I started my Instagram account, it's always had the tag on the bottom line. It says escape average. And I think that is one of my real dreams, is to help more people escape average. And average has this fucking gravity about it that's really quite phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's so easy to be average. And in fact, it might even be better sometimes, I think. Like sometimes when I think about it, like the shit that I do can be taxing. Like it can be just not, you know, like being average, I can see the merits, like I can see the attraction. And
Yeah.
and so like I still think I want people to escape it, because then they at least have the choice. Um, you know, having it be a choice, I think, is more important. But yeah, dude, I don't know. Like having to dream like that is so hard for me, because I am so involved in so many projects, right? And I don't know if those are just distractions. Like, are those just distractions to keep you away from answering some of these bigger questions that we kind of run away from in life? Like, is the reason why we're on, you know, Twitter Spaces in the morning and then instantly into a podcast and then instantly on to the next task and then doing that shit until whenever we decide to stop that? Are these just distractions that are actually us trying to cope with the idea that we actually don't have dreams or that we don't have a plan? Because like that could be true too.
Yeah. Fuck. It's
Right.
wild. I think like, yeah, I mean, do you meditate at all? I'm guessing you're not too religious.
um I'm definitely not religious, but I do things, and this is gonna sound fucking crazy, but I do things that I find meditative. So like one thing I like to do is go shooting. And I find shooting, which
Wait, wait, you cut out. Wait, hold on. I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you?
can you hear me now? Can you
Speak.
hear me now? I said
Fuck.
something
Oh
so
my god.
fucked up that Nado can't even believe
Oh,
it.
there we go. There we go. Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
So
Okay. So
I do
you like to do
meditative
things
things.
that are meditating. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love
So
it.
like
Okay. Like
shooting
hiking
for
or
me,
something. Yeah.
is one of those things, because like you have to actually just focus entirely on one thing. Well, it's not really
Yeah.
one thing, it's a
Yeah.
series of things, but it's a series of things that is very it's very personal, right? Like it's really only it's but hopefully it's only you, right, involved. And so you get really dialed into that. The other thing I find that I do that really well with is fucking dishes, bro. I love washing dishes. And straight up, it's one of my favorite things, because I use it as like meditative space, and I do it in the morning. So like we'll eat, and like my favorite thing is like eat and then just fucking like crash, man. Like just leave that shit laying there for tomorrow. And in the morning, peacefully, you know, with like a nice mug of coffee, I like to just fucking do that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, is that meditating? I don't fucking know, but I like to sit there and have those thoughts,
Yeah.
just kind of percolating when I'm doing, you know, mindless shit like that, or
I
driving
like
with no
that.
volume, you know, driving with nothing
No,
on. That's a
that's
blast.
intense. That's
Yeah.
intense. I like it. No, I like it. I think you're on a journey to figure that out, right? And I think it's okay that you don't know that right now. Like I was kind of telling Dan on Monday, man, I was like, this could really get wild. I was like, this could really get crazy. The expansion of all this, man. Like, you guys doing more shows or, whatever way, like, you get me and Matt hosting a show together. Like, I don't know what the fuck that's going to be like, but like, we're two completely different personalities that mesh so well together. Right. And so it's like, I have the energy and Matt has the fucking intelligence. Right. And so it's like, you get a show with me and Dan. I was telling him, I was like, dude, I don't even know, but I know that me and Dan, like I said, that me and you on a show would be fucking crazy. Same with like me and you. Right. Like, it would be wild. And so like, just, like that growth and into like what the goal and the dreams are, like, I think can really change the world. I think for reals, for sure, dude.
Yeah. And like the concept with that company too is again, more so to just capture the exploration involved in our lives. Like, and again, it's almost in the same spirit of like why we would do an NFT show. Like, all of us found ourselves like not really paying that much attention, and arguably we still don't, right? Like, I still tune into the show to find out from you guys what the fuck's going on in the whole space. And that's important, right? Like that's one of the purposes of that show, is to fulfill that. But for this show, like, we both agree we want adventure in our lives. We both agree that we want to educate people. We both already go down, because like one of the cool things is when you get financially free, you have all this fucking time. Like, it's crazy. And this is why, like, when my friend, like, it's so hard for me to get into debates with people. Especially, COVID was a great example of this, because people would, like, everybody had their opinion and everything, but I was like, yeah, but bro, I actually just I have time, right? I'm spending 10 hours a day or 10 hours a week on my business. You're spending 50, 60 hours at work, like, and I'm just not, like, I have 50 hours where literally all I do is fucking research and go down rabbit holes of random shit. And like, sometimes that's on like how to find the best scope for whatever rifle I'm looking at. Or sometimes it's World War II history or World War I history, or looking at what Genghis Khan did, or looking at the Roman Empire, or looking at a bunch of different authors that, inspired all this classic literature. Like, man, I have so much fucking time. And so one of the things that Matt and I discussed is like, we're already reading so much. Like, dude, I crank so much reading, like books, podcasts, fucking research online, like YouTube. Like, we are constantly learning, and there's no reason we shouldn't be sharing our journey with somebody else, because it definitely will add value. But besides that, there's all the other passions that we have, right? Like, I'm passionate about hunting, traveling. I've forever, one of my only like big goals was to have 100 countries that I saw it. I think I'm at 19 right now, or 18. I'd have to check my list again, but I'm at like 18 countries. So like, if I want to tick off 80 more countries, you have to be intentional. Like, you can't just do one a year. Okay, I can't afford that. It'll be 108. You have to do 2, 3, 4 a year if you want to get that list done. So
you're probably gonna need to get vaxxed for that, bro.
No, I'm not. That's the thing.
No, I know.
That's the thing, is I just fucking refuse. Like, and this is one of the spirits too of the show, and like why I chose to go this path and why I'm digging into this path is like, I refuse to fucking live on anybody else's terms. I just won't do it. And the cool thing is, like, that forces you into certain, because like, if that's one of your dreams, then you have to, again, so if that's the strategy, what are the tactics? Well, how do you get to do that? A lot of money, for sure. You need a lot of resources. So you either need great wealth or great connections. If you have both, you cannot be fucked with. So, one of the plans for these shows and all the businesses that I'm interested in building is like, to achieve both of those things, you need wealth and great connections. And if you have both of those things, you don't need to live on other people's terms.
Yeah, right? I fucking love it, dude.
So somebody sometime is going to use this video against me, but they can go fuck themselves too.
Yeah, fuck them. That's going to be in fucking 10 years when we're fucking have the biggest NFT media company in the dude. Exactly. And we're fucking just absolutely like, riding every day.
Evil white supremacist talks about NFTs.
Dude, what are like the top 3 countries that you haven't been to that you want to go to?
Have not been to
Yeah.
Madagascar,
Okay.
Thailand, Japan.
You probably don't have to be vaxxed to go to Thailand. That
No, probably
sounded
not.
bad, to be honest, the way I said that, but yeah, you probably don't have to. I bet not Madagascar. And what was
Yeah,
the third one?
nobody's going to Madagascar. I don't even know. I feel
What was the
like
third one?
Madagascar is the country like you leave the lights on, you forget, and you just leave it. like, like it's like that. Like I don't know. It's like the light I leave on in my garage. I'm like I just don't care.
Yeah, you just don't give a
Yeah,
fuck. Yeah, you're just
yeah.
like fucking leave this bitch on. I
Japan.
really want to go to Ireland and Italy. I've wanted to go to Italy, the number one country I've wanted to go to since I'm Italian. My wife really wants to go to Ireland, which I do too for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I would fuck with both of those. I've been to Europe a lot. I've been several times, and I skipped Ireland every time. Well, all of UK actually, because I was just too poor to go there. Like I just couldn't afford it. But yeah, Italy, I've been a bunch of times, man, and like I have so many epic fucking travel pins that I can just throw at you if you're ever gonna be there. Like I can save you so much time and get you so many better adventures in Italy because yeah, I've been there a few times and it's fucking great.
And you
You
have
need
family
to.
there.
Yeah, yeah, you can go kick it with my aunt. She's the shit.
That's so sick, dude.
And they've got super cool kids. Dude, check this out. I was just hanging out with my little cousins. My one little cousin, Casper, is 6 years old. He can speak Spanish, Italian, and English. So
Sick,
soak it
sick.
in. Yeah,
6 years old.
his sister Maya is like 12 or I think 12, and she will fuck you up in like math, English, history. It's like the craziest shit, bro. They're so crazy over there. But yeah,
One of
man,
my
it's a cool
customers
culture.
one of my customers, Andreas from Italy, and he is like his I don't know what the fuck engineer. He's smart as fuck. Graduated MIT. Dude, he grew up 2 minutes away from where Gladiator was fucking. You know the field with the fucking
Bro,
Marcus Aurelius
no
fucking dude
way.
when he's dead. He literally, dude, he can like reenact the scene. I can't even do it, but the way that he says it is fucking crazy, dude. He's like, yeah, I grew up there. I was like, dude, that's fucking insane. Like one of
That's
the
sick.
best movies ever, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fucking
Yeah, man.
wild.
I would love to get back to traveling. It is really unfortunate. We did make the best of it. We this year they for some reason like flying inside Canada wouldn't kill all the Canadians, but flying in or out, flying outside would. So I was able to go on a couple of trips this year. I flew out to see my buddy Gavin, a high school friend who I hadn't seen for a long time, and we went to his place in BC. And British Columbia is fucking beautiful. It's
Yeah.
just insane. So we went out there and did some huge hikes, like hiked up to some glaciers. Um, dragged some beers up that bitch and just like went on a crazy hike, bro. It was gnarly. Like Christina was puking at the top because it was like we fucking ascended this bitch quick and like we're relentless. And he lives there, so he doesn't give a shit. But I'm like, I just refuse to be fucking beaten, so I'm like, I'm getting up this motherfucker. And also, no sympathy, you're coming. So she's
Yeah, 100%.
puking at the
Yeah.
top, and anyways, we smashed beers at this glacier, like a glacier with a lake.
Oh,
So
so
fucking
sick.
frozen water, bro. We were in there. It was so good. And yeah, I went there twice this year. And then um, my grandparents have been locked up for COVID because they were super freaked out. And grandma's got like some sort of lung issues that are really shitty. So she definitely did not want to fuck with that. Um, but anyways, we were sitting there, and I think told this story on DJ and Friends, but fuck it, I'll repeat it. Is we're sitting there on one of the weekends. It was like Father's Day weekend or something, which doesn't mean a whole lot to me. So I was like, at the end of the weekend, I think it was no, it was Friday. We're sitting there and we're sitting out in the deck, and we're like, fuck yeah, the weather's amazing. Like, I'm just like, you guys got to get out traveling. And they're like, yeah, we would love to get out traveling. I'm like, okay, well, like, why don't we just go somewhere? And they're like, well, where do you want to go? I'm like, well, I don't fucking know. And I'm like, let's take a look. Like, take my phone out, and there's this app called Skyscanner that I use all the time for buying tickets. and it's like, you know, it'll just search all the airlines at once.
Yeah.
And so anyways, found these tickets to fucking Halifax, which I've always wanted to go to Halifax. It's on the maritime east coast of it's Nova Scotia in Canada, and it's like fucking world renowned lobster and like seafood and all this shit, and like it is just so cool, and an interesting culture Canadian wise. Like it's probably what people think about Canadians when they think Canadians. They like, hey, they're talking about this, and they're all super nice. And so it was Friday, and I was like, okay, shit. Well, I'm booking us tickets, and they're like, whoa, we got to make plans, whatever. No, fuck that. And I booked tickets for Monday, and I was like, I'm gonna be back here in like 3 days, and we're leaving. Like, pack a small bag. So we flew out there for a few days, and we stayed for I think five nights or something, and it was so cool, dude. Got to bring grandpa out, and we toured, and we went and had like mussels at every fucking place that I could find, and lobster, and the dude was happy as all hell. And like I was fired up about that. Like I think that's what, you know, part of what my dream is to give that experience to more people, right? Like the ability, and like I bought my mom a car in the last couple of years, and like that was like one of the craziest shits ever, because like she's, yeah, anyways, like just to be able to give other people the ability to give their important people that, I think is cool. Like audio saying like, I'm a better dad this week because of your gift. Like I want to do that on a huge scale.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy, dude. I mean, the fact that you gave your mom a car, that's so sick, man. Like for the longest time I've said that I'm gonna give my dad a helicopter. I told him when I was a kid, I was like, dude, I'm gonna buy you a helicopter, because my grandpa was a pilot in the Air Force, and so he's always wanted to fly, but he couldn't go into the Air Force because he had asthma. And so I told him, I was like, dude, I was like probably fucking 8. I was like, I'm gonna buy you a helicopter.
Love it.
Well, the fucking Kobe Bryant shit happened. I'm like, yo, I'm not buying you a helicopter, my guy, but I want to buy him a plane so bad. Just like a little fucking, nothing fancy.
Yeah,
Fucking little fucking, yeah, dude. So like that's a huge goal that he probably like doesn't think about, and I just literally cannot wait to do. Like just to fucking just bring him down to the airport, and like this is like 5 years down the road when I've just made it, and he just fucking, I'm like, dude, here's your keys to your plane, dude, and he just shits it. Dude, I just like, I don't even know what that's gonna be like.
Dude, that'll be so
sick.
legit.
Yeah.
I'm actually working on my pilot license right now too, because I think that'll alleviate some of the fucking vaccine problems. Just fly myself.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Isn't it like, is it 200 hours or is it 400 hours?
No,
you gotta fly.
It's nowhere near that, dude. I think it's
what?
like 100 hours or something.
Oh shit,
bro, it's not.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
No,
but like,
how much is like a not very like nice plane? Like I don't know, like a fucking not like a not nice plane, but like just like a little plane,
like a fucking 4-seater. That's like really nice. Would be like 200 grand. It's not even bad. And like shitty, like legit, just like shitty planes that you would just kind of fly around for pleasure. 80 grand, 60 grand, 60 grand. You could probably get a Cessna. You could get like a nice Piper for like, 100 G's, 120. But like if you could just go from 120 to 2, you've got like a way better plane. So you might as well.
That's for sure true. Bro, dude, I can't believe that you guys can't fly out of Canada without the vax, bro. It's just
can you
crazy.
Fucking soak that in, like just for a minute?
It's just fucking wild to me, man. It's just
like,
wild,
bro. We're like 3 years into this. Like, grow up. It's done. It's over. We get it. You guys made a fucking several $1 billion. Like, what else do you want? Like, go away. Take your money. We buckled down. You win. I lose. It's cool.
No, and the thing was, dude, is for us, like one of the main reasons why we're gonna leave is like the schooling system is so bad here in Vegas. But on top of that, dude, like there's not a fucking chance I'm putting a mask on my kid. There's not a fucking chance, bro.
Never.
There was one time we went to the doctor and they told us to put this was when my son was, so he's almost 4. He was probably just over 2, and that was the rule, was like 2 years old, you gotta wear a mask. And they told us like you need to put a mask on him, and I was like, he's not gonna fucking wear a mask, so. You can try to put one on him, but he's going to take it fucking right off because he doesn't wear masks, because we don't fucking wear a mask, because no one's going to fucking die because of my 2-year-old son.
Yeah.
So
we had this at our vet I had to drop our dog off for like shots, and the vet. Now I've got COVID just for saying this. The fucking vet, bro. I walk in there and she's like, "This is a medical institution. You need to wear a mask." And I was like, "No, I don't." And she's like, "You do. It's a medical institution." And this is like yeah, a year and a half or 2 years in. I'm like, there's no debate left. Like your thing is not helping anybody. And I have a fucking beard. Like, do you even know how this shit works? Like, there's no
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And I'm just like, no, actually, I don't. And she's like, well, what? I'm like, okay, like, what is the actual fucking issue? Like,
Somebody dropped my animal off. Just take my
I'm like,
animal.
just set your payment system up. I'll go tap my card. Here, take my card. Like, I don't need to fucking talk to you. Like, you just need to do the shots for this dog that you clearly already fucking know is coming in. And then she's like, well, can you weigh her? And she like made me weigh my dog instead of her doing her fucking job. And I was like, I literally looked at her. I'm like, do you know how fucking stupid this is right now? And she was like, I am sorry, but it's just the thing. Like, it's the thing. And I'm like, you're such a robotic little dumb fuck. And I can't believe it. Anyways, got the shots. It was hilarious. They had to bill me outside. They're like, we'll bring the fucking ATM thing outside. And I was like, what are we talking about? I was
Fucking
already
crazy.
inside. Like, are you gonna die or not? I don't know.
Dude, this is my thing, man. It's like I don't have time to research the fucking medical, all the bullshit, bro. This is the one thing, okay? When the fuck in your life have you ever been to a fucking doctor and they've worn a mask?
Oh my god, never.
Sick or not,
Never.
nobody.
Never.
Only when they go into surgery, dude. So
Yeah.
why in the actual fuck are we wearing? Dude, that's it. That's the only argument I
Well,
need, and
that's
I
why
don't
they're
need to
called
talk about it.
surgical masks. It's just they don't want large blood droplets coming into their fucking mouth, and that's
Yeah,
understandable.
bro.
I don't
Come
need your
on.
fucking disgusting blood in my face.
It's
So,
wild, bro.
anyways, that
It's
and
wild.
Asian people seem to love those fucking masks. But this is where this is all
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
from. Trudeau's got fucking CCP's cock so far up his ass, it's not even funny. He's taking loads from the CCP like it's his fucking day job.
What is the CCP?
The Communist Party of China. Chinese Communist Party. That's what the political party is. That's
tell
current
me
law.
tell me a little bit about tell me a little bit about the Citadel. What is that like? It's just
All right.
incredible.
Bro. First of all, it's fucking incredible. Second of all, it's better than you think. So there's a one big main lodge. Okay, like a big main lodge, like it's fucking huge. Big open, like it's funny. The guy who built the thing is actually Matt's neighbor now, which is really cool. And he's this fucking crazy old dude. Do you happen to know who Alex fuck the crazy dude, Alex whatever, Alex Jones? Do you know who Alex Jones is?
That sounds really familiar.
He's like this crazy conspiracy dude who's like always going insane online. No,
I'm literally gonna look him up. I'm gonna look him up right now.
I swear to fucking God, Alex Jones is the funniest.
Oh, love Alex Jones, dude.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
his neighbor.
No, that's not his fucking neighbor.
Okay, sorry.
His neighbor is Les, and Les is a dude who listens to Alex Jones as if he's God, but also attends Bible school fucking every day. And like Trump was sent from God to like save the US and like all this crazy shit. So I'm like this dude's wild. But anyways, my point is it's cool that he still lives there because he built this cool fucking huge lodge. So he used to be a fishing lodge. So like the lake that he's on only has like a couple other cottages, and it was fucking super stoked and stacked with fish. So like Matt's got this huge lodge, and then it's got 8 satellite lodges around it. So like or like cabins
Holy
rather.
shit.
So it's got 8 cabins that are around it, and they're slowly kind of like renovating those to like decent modern standards because like it was just a fishing lodge before. So they were pretty like rustic, kind of like, you know, cottagey fucking things. So Matt's got these guys, Graham and Aislinn, that moved there with their baby to like live there full time and like be the property kind of grounds manager there. And the idea with that property is I think it's only like 20 acres. So it's kind of a small parcel, but it's got all these buildings on it. So it's so cool. And what he's trying to do there is like build a bit of a community where people can, come visit for masterminds, come like learn there, come study there, come do work there, come stay there. Like, there's also like a bunch of RV slots. And so like Graham, the dude who's kind of running the grounds, is also sort of like generating some revenue now and like getting things up on Airbnb and like doing some fishing things to pay for everything. And like essentially pay his own salary to work there and live there. But like they're just trying to like embrace like the whole like idea that like, if shit gets a little crazy, they'll all have the skills there to have everything. So like they're growing food, they're going to educate their kid there, like kind of homeschooled and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking cool. But like, yeah, man, it's like this huge like Ontario is I don't know how many lakes Ontario would have, but like probably like 400,000 lakes. Like Ontario is just a series of lakes. Like it's some fucking
Wow.
crazy network of just fucking lakes. And so Matt's got like this, he's on this big lake that kind of connects to a smaller lake that then opens up to like a huge fucking lake. And where he lives is called like the whole area is called like Lake of the Woods. So it's like I think there's probably a couple thousand lakes like in his general area. So like it's this cool like fucking just like outdoorsman type community that he even lives in, and then his area is like really like remote and cool. So yeah, it's dope, dude. And like everything he does, like he just goes fucking crazy on. So like he's got all like the boats there now, like crazy canoes and like water fucking things and ATVs and snowmobiles. So like he's getting it set up to be like a really cool place to hang, but also, go to war in terms of like if you want business meetings, high level masterminds, like we'll set up in the main lodge and break out the whiteboards and the flip charts and just fucking go to battle.
That's sick. That's
Yeah.
so sick, dude.
Yeah. So it's legit. And yeah, like it's just funny. Like it's such a different direction than where we were like 2-3 years ago with everything. 2-3 years ago was like, we were living with all of our salespeople. So like we started these houses that were crazy. And like we got these really big houses, like essentially like McMansions, we call them. So like big new
Yeah.
build houses that are like, 5 bed, 3.5, 4 bed or 4 bathrooms. And like we had all the sales guys living with us. And so like it was like 24 hours a day, like training, accountability, goal setting, fucking crushing it, party with the boys
Wow.
after, and building like this crazy culture. And so like we started kind of like the culture wars there and experimenting with like how can we frame this a little bit different, like how far can we take this, right? Like living with your guys is crazy, it's fucking wild. Like
Yeah.
one thing you explored earlier is like working with families is difficult. Well, working and living with your coworkers is interesting and challenging too, but there's all these benefits. Like we were able to scale a business from $0 to a few $1,000,000 in a year,
Yeah.
just by living with them, right? And just like eat, sleep, breathe, fucking bleed with these guys.
Yeah. No, that's sick, dude. That's fucking awesome. Really is like a
So
different dynamic to think about.
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, the Citadel is going to be, I think, that type of version for digital nomads, people looking for more from life, people looking to expand their horizons or political points of views or educate themselves, and they can just go and like hang there. And yeah, Matt's got kind of an
Because
open door there.
Matt's very, very passionate about the political side, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
would say so. Like I think he's been transitioning for a couple of years, right? And like doing a lot of homework, and like I said, we have all this time. So I think he's just been going down. I think he's gone deeper than me on like just reading up on the history and what's gone on, and sort of trying to figure out where do we stand, like
Yeah.
in terms of politics, and like what can you actually do as an individual citizen, or and what's your responsibility, right? Because like one of the easy things for us would have been a year ago to take the money and just get the fuck out of here, right? We could have gone to another country, got other passports, got property internationally, and just fucked off. But like that doesn't save your friends. That doesn't save your family. That doesn't save the people you care about. It saves you. It's a very selfish act. So like one of the things we're trying to do now is inspire others to join us, right? And how do you do that? Well, it turns out it's actually a long fucking road to teach people to do better for themselves, to grow themselves, businesses, right? To improve their skills, to become the people that we hope, you know, will be playing with us on a beach in 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're hoping to do, is like just build future business partners, build future titans of industry that will go on to affect the lives of the people around them. So
It's fucking awesome, dude. I'm so fucking excited. I literally am so bullish, bro. Every single time I talk to fucking you or Dan,
yeah,
fuck,
I love
so
it.
excited. It's gonna get wild, dude. It's gonna
Well,
fucking get crazy.
yeah, I hope it fucking does. I hope we find the upper limit of how crazy we can go, because like there's this quote. I'm gonna fucking dig this up right now, and we might even have to fucking wrap up the podcast with that. But there's this quote by Hunter S. Thompson, and it just blows my mind every time. Okay, I'm gonna read this shit out. Okay. Oh, it's getting pulled up. Right.
You sound good. You sound good.
Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, "Wow, what a ride." And I think that is how I want to see it out. And that there's a lot of versions of what arriving in a cloud of smoke looks like broadside.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to be necessarily destructive in the same way he took it, but you know, I think there's ways to do it.
Dude, what a ride. That's it, dude.
We're
That's
riding.
it.
We're fucking riding.
We're literally fucking riding, bro. Like I don't know what else to say, dude. I don't. Like when Dan said to me today that it feels like every day is tornado time, dude, I'm like, dude, we're literally riding, bro. We're literally riding. That's it. This is a fucking like we were at VeeCon, dude. Gary's episode on my gratitude videos was 95 and I'm on 189. Tomorrow's 190. Fuck.
Bro.
Double that, dude. We're that far past that and just literally riding, dude. Like I'm in the fucking dirt, dude. I'm in Shillin' Villain space every day. I'm fucking grinding with him. He knows who I am. I did a podcast with him. I'm in his spaces, 400 or 500 people every day. And I'm just like, dude, we're just gonna fucking make it, dude. I'm so motivated right now.
I love it.
It's fucking awesome.
That fires me up, bro.
I'm so fired up, man. It's just like, I know you're not religious, dude, but I feel so close. I've never felt closer to anything in my life than like one thing away from like really just Goody is very good at editing TikTok videos. He used to do that, and so I'm gonna post 3 times a day on my TikTok starting tomorrow. And we're just like, dude, his whole motto is when he started doing it for people that have gotten successful that he doesn't work with anymore. You create like 7 different accounts. You post the same video on every single account, and one will hit. And then you just use that account. You just start posting on that account. It's like, dude, I already have 190. Tomorrow I'm gonna have 190 episodes of Gratitude Day. Dude, people need to see that. People want to see that, dude. And it's like, dude. I just like, it's gonna be so sick, dude. It really is.
Well, fuck yeah, man. Well, tell me, what are you grateful today? And then we'll wrap it up.
I think I'm grateful that I finished that bed for my son, man. He comes home tomorrow. He's been with my in-laws, and he is gonna shit his fucking pants, bro. I literally cannot wait to video it. I'm coming home from work early tomorrow, and I'm gonna sit in the room while he opens the door, dude. It's gonna be the best. He's gonna be so happy. He's like, that's what I'm grateful for, dude. The fact that I was able to do that.
That's so legit, man.
So sick, dude.
Those investments will pay off.
Yeah, dude.
That
Check this
smile
out.
is going to be
Dude,
insane.
this was something that happened. My oldest son started school last week. I think it was last week. It might have been the week. No, it was last week. He's like almost 4, so it's like pre-K or some shit. To this lady's house, and yesterday he got like the student of the day or some shit because one of the kids wanted to sit in the blue chair that he was sitting in, and he gave the kid the blue chair as like an act of kindness and didn't complain, and the other kid did. And I was just like, dude, it was like literally the best thing I've ever done. I was like,
That's legit.
that means what I'm doing is actually meaningful in his life. Like, it was the best thing ever, dude. I was so fucking happy.
That's
I was
fucking
so
legit.
happy.
That's
Yeah, it
so
was
cool,
sick.
dude. I think that's one of the greatest arguments for having kids is the idea that you can pass on these great things and have them go out like little fucking lighthouses into the world.
Yeah.
Spreading it everywhere.
Wait till you meet my dude. My kids are fucking wild, dude. They're
I
fucking
can't wait.
crazy.
I can't wait. They're gonna be rugrats just ripping. Well, and I think we're gonna bring my dog Mayday too, so she'll fucking get a kick out of that.
I was gonna bring I fucking forgot it, but I have a goat shirt with fucking Trump on it. And I was gonna wear it, but I was like, fuck, I don't know if I can be that controversial right now in my brand building, but I had to show you. I was like, I don't honestly give a fuck, but it's fucking wild.
I'm taking that shirt home with me.
Dude, it's so incredible, man.
My
I was like, I told my wife, I was like, I have to show Adam this. He's fucking love this.
That's so funny, dude. I love it. Yeah, I don't know if I support Trump, but I know that America's fucked if it's either Trump or Biden that we have to pick from.
It's so bad right now, man.
So
it's
bad.
fucking
So bad.
So bad.
But all right, bro. I'm gonna fucking go to bed. It's 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. And anybody desperate and depraved and sick enough to still be listening to this is probably hoping we would wrap it up.
We're fucking riding. That's it.
Because we're riding.
If you stayed and listened to this, you're a fucking real one. I hope Dan listened. So it was live? This was live?
No, but I post them live, bro. I'm not gonna fucking edit this thing.
Oh fuck yeah. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't edit mine either. There's been so many times where I've started like my intro song and it doesn't load, and I'm like, fuck it. We'll just run it back. It's like I don't want to edit this shit. Like the whole point of my podcast is like it's raw, dude. It's a one shot only. Dude, probably 98% of my fucking gratitude videos are one shot because it's like unless I really fuck it up, then I'll reshoot it. But like I don't give a fuck. I'm loose cannon.
Dude, you're fucking
this is every day, dude.
All right, how should anybody connect with you? If that's it, that sad, lonely fuck in their car right now is still listening to this, how do they find you, gentle tornado?
So at Twitter, live hyped, LIVEHIPED, YouTube live hyped, fucking Instagram live hyped, fucking you can text me at 702-768-2704. I don't give a fuck. We're riding,
bro,
and I got you, dude. Put my number on wax, dude. I don't give a fuck. I'm here to change the fucking world, dude. I get texts from degens all day, and not degen friends. I'm talking about like actual fucking degen mechanics. So I got no shame. I don't have a work phone. This is my only phone number. So if you want to fucking call me, just don't call me after fucking I don't know 6 Pacific. I'm not answering that shit. But before that, I'll probably answer.
Oh my god, that one person still listening is Googling right now what the fuck Pacific time even is. Like what the fuck Pacific time?
Every single bro. Every person.
I think I saw that show on HBO.
I think Pacific? every person I fucking interviewed on my podcast is East Coast time. I'm like, fuck, dude. Can I catch one fucking break and get a Pacific time? Because I'm like, they're like, what time can you do? I'm like, dude, I can only do 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 your time. They're like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, like, I got 3 kids, bro. They go to bed at 7. Like, what do you want from me? Fucking East Coast, dude.
Unreal. Well, it goes down in the East, but the West is the best.
Yeah.
All right, bro. That's it. I'm wrapping it. I love you. Thanks for coming.
Love you, dude.
I fucking appreciate it. I had such a fun conversation, and Yeah, I don't know. I had fun. We got to do this again.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm down.
All right.
Love you, brother.
Have a good
All
night,
right.
man.
Later,
Peace.
man. Later.